Dear friends, this week we read the Torah portion of Tzav. And in this week's Torah portion, we talk about sacrifices. We continue talking about the various sacrifices that were brought in the temple. And one of the things that it tells us is, in this week's Torah portion, that the fats of the animal that we are slaughtering and bringing to God and offering to God, and the blood from the animal may not be eaten. And as we all know very well, that kosher animals and birds are salted to take out any blood. And as well, the fats are taken off before it goes to the butcher and gets ready for people to eat it, because those we cannot eat. And everything in Judaism has a message in it as well. And I want to share what I believe the Torah is trying to tell us. Fats and blood represent something in our life. Blood is hot, is red, passion, strength. Fats, pleasure. The fatty part of things tastes delicious, it's full of pleasure. And the Torah is telling us that we have to be very careful when we are full of blood or fats, because pleasure and passion are important, but on their own they could be very destructive. When people get passionate about something, you cannot reason with them, you cannot talk to them, and they become destructive eventually to those that stand in their way. When people are full of pleasure, they get complacent, they get stuck in the way they are enjoying life, in the way that they feel their life is going, and they don't want to change. And the Torah tells us that when these things stand alone, when a person is just passionate, but that passion is not anchored to something that is very true, real, and absolute, but rather it's just about the passion and the excitement, and I'd look to find something to be passionate or excited about, then that passion can go very wrongly. And usually our evil inclination can take over and get us passionate about the things that are not necessarily right for us or right in general. And so too pleasure. When a pleasure is not connected to a result of something that has value, that has meaning, it's just a pleasure, a physical, material pleasure, but not something that comes out of something that's meaningful and valuable, it can become dangerous as well. We become way too complacent, and we stop growing, we stop moving. And the Torah tells us, don't eat those things. It's very important when we sacrifice an animal to God, when we're thinking of coming close to God, work on your meat and potatoes, work on the things that are important, get the values, get the knowledge, get the information, the right path, the moral path. And only once you do that, then you'll be able to get passionate about it, or the pleasure you'll have will only bring you to want more of it because it's connected to something very powerful. And this, I think, is a very important lesson. As we go to Pesach, we know in Ashkenazi countries for many years there was a blood libel. They always claimed that Jews used blood, Christian blood, to put in their matzah, and this is the way they made many pogroms against the Jews. And we know that Jews don't eat blood at all. But they were trying to say that the Jews are fanatics. The Jews are out of their mind. They're unreasonable. Why are they so committed to things and they just don't want to budge? But the truth is, we know we are not fanatics. We may be very committed to something. I will not let it or anything get in the way for that commitment, but we're not fanatics for fanatics' sakes. We stand for things that have value, that have stood through the test of time, morals that are given by God, and that's what's most important. So I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom for Shabbat HaGadol, the great Shabbat. And I want to, as well, wish you in the preparations for Passover, they should go very well. May God bless you. We wish you all the best. And as well, Sunday is the Rebbe's birthday. Do an extra mitzvah in his honor as he inspired the world to do more good for God. Shabbat Shalom, candlelighting time in Montreal, 7:03 p.m.